Great morning. Great morning. You guys come on in. Come on in. And while you guys are coming in, I'm going to share. Let me get there. Great morning, you guys. Hey, Evelyn. Hey, Lady Ella, how are you? Great morning, Evelyn. Girl, you got your alive out. Get your alive out, honey. Y'all come on in, come on in. Come on in, come on in. Y'all come on in, come on in. Hey, Corey. Hey, Christina. Great to see you guys. Y'all go ahead, get your alive out, get your alive out. We're about to take our shot. We done broke open a new bottle. And so we're going to get ready to pour it up, pour it up, pour it up. Y'all, I'm excited for today. There is a word from the Lord. And so I'm super excited about that. Yes, Evelyn said, I got my live. I'm ready. I know that's right. I know that's right. Let me hit some folks. Yep. Oh, we getting ready to go. Hey, Jackie. Jackie, you got your alive out, boo. Oh, my goodness. Let's go, let's go, let's go. Great morning. Hey, Jackie. Yes, honey, yes. Okay, y'all. So listen, I need to go on and get started. So let's go ahead and get our live out. Shake it up. Pour it up. Come on, somebody. We need to pour it up. All right. All right, you guys. Listen. Hey, Mike. Here's to another amazing day that God has given us, an opportunity to be of service to the Lord God Almighty, and yet another day to show somebody what alive looks like. Angel number 111. Cheers. Mm. Ah, yes, God. Yes. Oh, let me pour my husband up. Lest I forget. All right. Yes, baby, you're poured up. Okay, you guys, listen. Listen. On this journey, God has been doing some amazing things, right? He's been doing some amazing things. He's been showing up. He's been showing out. He's been just being God. Like, that's what he does, right? And today we're talking about know your place. Know your place. Now, look, I can't tell you where to be and where not to be, but make sure the place that you are is the place that God desires for you to be. Too often in our lives, we find ourselves in places that's not where God has for us to be because it's convenient, it's comfortable, out of obligation, feeling like we owe someone something, right? Or even just because it's gotten comfortable and we don't want to move. But I came to tell somebody today that you got to know your place. You got to know your place. The scripture, and we're on day 10. I can't believe we're already on day 10. Y'all, my birthday's coming up. Oh my God, we're getting close to my birthday. But today is my girl Sharita Leon's birthday. Happy birthday, Sharita. She sent me a video that we did in 2020, the day before her birthday, when we did the photo shoot. And some of y'all may remember when we were on billboards and stuff in Atlanta. And so she sent me the video, and I found myself watching it, laughing hilariously, because I was like, oh my God, we are so crazy, but we're so amazing together. Day 10, the text is from Mark 6, 6b through 11. Then Jesus went from village to village teaching the people. And he called his 12 disciples together and began sending them out 2 by 2, giving them authority to cast out evil spirits. He told them to take nothing for their journey except a walking stick, no food, no traveler's bag, no money. He allowed them to wear sandals, but not to take a change of clothes. Wherever you go, he said, stay in the same house until you leave town. But if any place refuses to welcome you or listen to you, shake its dust from your feet as you leave, to show that you have abandoned those people to their fate. Good morning, Stacy. Jesus sent them out. He didn't send them with money. He didn't send them with a change of clothes. He didn't send them with traveler's checks. He didn't send them with like, listen, most of us would not be able to function like that, because it's like, well, what am I going to do? Where am I going to stay? Like, how am I going to eat? We would have had all these questions that we would say, no, God, I'm not going. One of the things that I've learned, and listen, it is true of me, is I go when God says go, and I trust him to work the rest of it out. Sometimes in our attempts to work things out and to have everything situated, we don't allow God room to do what God desires to do. Sometimes, listen to me, sometimes there's a reason that you have to stay in a particular place. There's a reason that you have to be in a particular situation. There's a reason for it. And the reason is for God's will to be done. So you don't know who you need to impact. You don't know all of that. So in your attempts to try to know everything, you do nothing, because you don't know everything. But God didn't design it for us to know everything. Listen, we need to know what we need to know. And then when he says go, we are to go with whatever he sends us with. You ain't got to have it all figured out. Some of my greatest trips, my greatest exploits have come when God told me to go somewhere, but I didn't know all the details. But along the way, he not only made a way, he sorted it out. He worked it out. Oh, my goodness. Okay, God. Oh, listen. Okay, listen. I'm going to say it like he says it. Okay? Look, you got to stop trying to control what God is doing. It's time to just trust God and go. You're so busy trying to do it in your own strength, you're wasting your efforts and your energy. He's causing stuff to fall flat because you're trying to do it. You want to see God move. You want to see things get done. You want to see things manifest. Get out of the way. Stop trying to dictate how it's done. Stop trying to have it all mapped out. Let God lead. Listen to the voice of God. Do what he says. Go where he says go, and trust him with the entire process. You trying to do things on your wallet, on your bank account. You can't do it on your bank account. You trying to do things on your time schedule. You can't do it on your time schedule. You got to do it on the schedule of God. You got to do it the way God says do it. You got to do it when God says do it. Stop. And we've all been guilty of it. This morning, I was watching the video of Sharita and I, and some things hit me. 2020 was an interesting year for me. Yes, that was the year of the pandemic. I ended up traveling to New York in August after the lockdown, right? But when we were on the video, I began to talk about some things, because a lot of things happened for me in that year. Not even a month, the month that I traveled to New York, I literally 2 weeks, but wasn't even 2 weeks, honey, listen, maybe 7 days earlier, I had just moved into my new place. In July, I left my husband, left the home, left. I left, right? And I was trying to figure out what I was going to do and how I was going to do it. And all I knew is God said, go. Okay, God, I don't know where I'm going, because I don't know where I'm going. I ended up staying with one of my proteges, right? And I'm like, God, I don't know where this is going from here. Like, I don't know, like, how am I going to do this? I don't have money to move. How am I going to rent someplace? God, you already know my financial situation. He said, I want you to go back through your money. I want you to go back through all your money, and I want you to track your money. And I was like, for what? Because I don't have any. What? He said, track your money. And I went back. Okay. So this was in July. So in July, he told me, I need you to find you a place. And I'm like, I don't know what my income is. I don't even know what to put down for my income, because it's been a little slim, right? He said, track your money. I went back and I began to track. And I want y'all to listen to me. When I began to look back at my money, because money was going out like this, right? I looked up and I realized that I had made $30,000 during the pandemic. April, May, June, I'd made $30,000. April, May, June, I had made $30,000 while we were on lockdown. 3 months, I'd made $30,000. Actually, it was a little over 30,000. And I was like, what? When did I make that? And where did it go? So much money was going out, because I was taking care of the school. I was doing things at the house. Listen, so much money was going out, I had not even recognized, okay? Because I had some big things I had to pay for the school. I hadn't even recognized that I had made $30,000 in 3 months. Hadn't realized it. So now when I looked for a place, because I'm thinking I'm not going to be able to afford a place. I made $30,000 in 3 months. Yes, I can afford a place. But I had to track it to see. And because I had all these issues with money, I wouldn't track my money, right? But when I tracked it, I discovered I'd done more than I had realized. I'd made more than I had even thought of, right? Like, I didn't even know. So when I began to look for a place, I wanted to look in a certain price range, and God said no. Yeah, I'm looking, like 1,800, like 15 to 1,800, yeah, by myself. I'm like, okay, I'm looking about 15 to 1,800. God said no. I said, excuse me, sir. Excuse me, sir. No, that's not the place I want you. Okay. Okay, then I'm gonna have to trust you, and I'm gonna have to go with you. I don't know how we're gonna do it, but listen, if you could allow me to make $30,000 in 3 months during the pandemic when everything was shut down, I know you got this, okay? So I'm gonna trust you with it. And that's exactly what I did. And I saw this place. Oh my God. Let me tell you the defining features that sealed it for me, that was the place I was supposed to live. It had a fireplace. Boom! Listen, I like a fireplace. I know I'm in Florida, and I know y'all say you don't need a fireplace in Florida, but I like a fireplace, a functional fireplace. I like that. I like that. It had hardwood floors. Boom! I like hardwood floors. Listen, give me a nice hardwood floor, baby. Some real wood. Hey, I'm searching for some real wood. Listen, okay, the bathroom. Oh my God, the master bathroom. Baby, that bathroom, angel number 144, that bathroom was everything. Do y'all hear me? Yes, they are, Stacy. That bathroom. I took so many pictures in that bathroom. That bathroom, the tile, the shower had 2 shower heads. Like, I'm trying to tell y'all. Yes, 144, Marina. I'm going to look it up too. Yes, that bathroom was everything. Do you hear me? It was everything. Summerlin's like, right? Summerlin got a chance to experience that bathroom. She came when I lived in that house. No, she came when I lived in the other house. Which house was that? No, Summerlin came when I was in the other house. Now, that was the other house, Summerlin. Corey's talking about, I remember, listen, I'm talking about that tile was like, it was custom. Like, you could tell it was custom. Honey, listen, that bathroom was everything. Do you hear me? Everything. And the closet. I had shelves for my shoes. Y'all, it had the multiple shelves with the built-in drawers all in the closet. Oh my God, the closet was, listen, I walked into the house and my spirit knew this was it. It had a wine refrigerator in the kitchen area. Kitchen was listen, nah. The house was incredible. So when I walked in, I knew. Now, mind you, I didn't take furniture. I was starting over from scratch. But I walked in and I knew. And we began to talk about how much it was going to be. The house was a $500,000 house. I didn't realize it was a $500,000 house until after. After. It was a $600,000 house, right? That's what it's worth, $600,000 townhouse. It was a townhouse. But I knew that was the place. And I'm going to tell y'all why I'm telling y'all this. God is so good. I knew that was the place that I was supposed to be. God said, this is it. I said, okay. I said, okay. And so we're talking about the rent, not the mortgage, the rent, right? He said, well, normally I get $4,500 from it. But because of the pandemic and everything that's going on, he knew my situation. He said, I'll do it for $3,500 a month. I said, okay. Y'all listen. Look, I had just come out of a situation where I wasn't paying that. That's what I'm going to say. I wasn't paying nowhere near that, right? I said, okay. He said, so, the deposit will be $3,500 and the first month's rent. So I need to come up with $7,000 to move in. $7,000. God did that. Only God could have done that. God did that. When I say God did it, God did that and got us into the house. I'm so thankful that I have people who love me, who believe in me. Listen, I'm telling you, that was a major step for me. But it also began to shift me out of a depression. It began to shift me out of a place of lack, a place of a poverty mindset, like that atmosphere, like just bred life. I mean, my kids and I did some amazing things in that place. I'm telling you, they did a video there, like we did business there. I had my birthday party there. After I came back from New York, and my girlfriends then did a birthday party for me. And then the crazy thing is, one of the girlfriends that did the birthday party, we don't even talk like that no more. Like that's the way life happens. But I'm grateful because she played such an integral role in my life, right? So listen, I'm talking about $3,500 a month rent. That's not the light bill. That ain't the water. That's not the gas. That's not those things. $3,500 rent, right? So this morning when I watched the video, in the video I'm talking about, I just moved, into, a $500,000 house. She said, how much? I was like, $500,000. Now, for a lot of people, you would say, why would you do that? That's wasting money. I'm gonna tell y'all something. Atmosphere is everything. When you're talking about shifting your life, the atmosphere that you're in is either gonna propel you or it's gonna hold you back. I'm just telling y'all this so that y'all will understand. Some of you, God is calling for you to make some big moves and you're scared to make them because you're looking at what the numbers look like. But God is saying, no, I need you to make this shift and I'll make the difference up. You trying to make up the difference first. God says, I'll make the difference up. Listen, I'm telling y'all, I didn't know how that was going to work, but for a whole year, God made it happen. Every month he had to make it happen, because I was like, okay, God. Yes, it was a preview, Corey. Yes, April, atmosphere is everything. I'm telling you, and if you do not believe me, shift your atmosphere. If you are in a place that is depressing, a place that is oppressive, a place that feels dead, I promise you, it will limit you. So either you're going to go harder to get out of that place, or you're going to suppress and shrink down and be stuck and wonder why. Okay? Atmosphere is everything. Like, you got, it's certain atmospheres that'll produce things in you and allow you to move in ways that other atmospheres won't. You got to know your place. This is in every area of your life. This is your home. This is where you do ministry, where you do business. This is all of that. The atmosphere matters. There's a certain atmosphere that God is trying to put you in, and you keep trying to hold on to the familiar, to the old. Listen, let it go so that God can do what he desires to do in your life, and that stretch you. He wants to stretch you. Moved in, $3,500 a month, rent, not counting utilities, rent. And I was the one primarily paying it. My son paid some. He paid some. But I promise, it was on me. It was on me, right? And God did that thing, because he needed me in that place. And when we moved to our next house was 6 bedrooms. Now, that's the one Summerlin came to. 6 bedrooms. We had 6 bedrooms, 2.5 baths, with the garage, backyard, like all of that. Nice neighborhood. I'm telling y'all. And check this out. My credit score was not all that. It was no, I didn't get it because of my credit. Let me say that. I didn't get it because my credit score was so high. I did not get it because of that. Listen, I said, listen, let me just explain to you what's going on in my life, right? And I moved into that house. That one, I think, was $2,600. I think that one was $2,600, right? Got in. Moved in again in August. Got in. A few days after I moved in, had to go pick my dad up. Brought my dad back. He got sick. He got COVID. Ended up going to the hospital. We had COVID, angel number 155. It reduced my teaching money. My money dropped. I was his primary caretaker. And before I knew it, by October, like, I was not even a full month late, I had an eviction notice. I had never seen anything like it. I was stressed. My dad had just died. Like, I'm telling y'all, it was one thing after another. I left there in January. In January of 22, I moved out of that place. Now, look, let me tell you something. Some would say, well, you should have just went lower. It had nothing to do with going lower, and it had everything to do with God moving me. See, now I understand that all of that had to happen, because had I had that lease, had I still been in that house, when I found my daddy, I would not have moved to North Carolina. I wouldn't have done it. See, you got to understand there's a reason that God allows things to happen, and I could not see it in the moment. There's a reason that everything happened that happened, and I could not see it in the moment. But looking back, I see it. So I'm telling you all, from the vantage point that I'm at now, listen, when God is doing something in your life, let him do it for a whole year. For a year. For a year. I did not have my own place. And I promise you, when I was in South Carolina, I tried to get my own place. I was like, I need to get my own place because I'm going to be here. But God knew that I wasn't going to be there. He would not let me get the place. I was so upset. I was frustrated. I was mad. I just wanted my own place. But God knew, he knew what was going to happen. He knew that I was going to have to move to Panama City. He knew that he couldn't afford for me to get locked into a lease that would delay what he was doing. He needed me to be fluid. He needed me to be flexible, angel number 166. He needed me to be able to go when he said go, so that I could be in the place that he needed me to be in when he needed me to be there. I was in North Carolina from January, the end of January to May. From May to October, I was in South Carolina. From October to December, I was in Bowling Green, Kentucky with my son. Listen, every place I was where I was supposed to be. Every place I was where I was supposed to be for the time that I was supposed to be there. Each place played a role in the journey. See, this is why you got to know your place. You try to stay places too long, past the time. God will let you know. You'll know when this is how you know when it's time to go. Now listen, let me say this first and foremost. Listen, things will begin to shift around you. Things will begin to shift around you. Like when I went home, I had to go home for something, and I knew, oh, I got to move back. You couldn't have told me I would move back to Kentucky. Couldn't have told me that. Literally, you couldn't have told me that, because I'd have been like, I'm not moving back to the country. Listen, I'm not moving back. I'm not. But it was necessary. I had to. There were things that God needed to do in that place. There were ways that I needed to be there to encourage my son, to minister to his family, to just be a blessing, to spend time with my grands there. Like there was stuff that needed to be able to go see my mama, to see my siblings. It was the first time all of my siblings had gotten together and gone to our brother's grave. Like, those were things that needed to happen. Had I not been there, it would not have been able to happen. So I needed to be there. You got to understand that God is taking you someplace. And you may not understand all of the details or all of the logistics, but go anyway. Go anyway. Go where God is sending you anyway. Trust God anyway. And sometimes he'll have to remind you. And that's what he did this morning. He reminded me. He reminded me. He reminded me. I looked at my husband, I said, I made $30,000 during the pandemic. He didn't say anything. I said, let me say it again. I said, I made $30,000 during the pandemic. He was like, okay. I had to say it for me. It was less for him and more for me. To remind me who I am. To remind me what's in me and that it is valuable. I didn't scam people out of $30,000. I made $30,000 using my gifts and my talents, helping position other people to use their gifts and their talents. I made $30,000 in 3 months. I had 5-figure months. Do you understand? When the world was shut down, I had 5-figure months. I'm telling y'all this because some of you need to shift the place where you are. You need to shake the dust off your feet and go on. Go out into the deep. Cast your net on the other side. Trust that what God has in you is enough to provide what you need. You want to make more money? Stop holding on to it like this. Y'all, you can't get more because you're holding on to it like your whole response to money is fear. No. We need money? Okay, okay. See, this is why as long as people owe you, you'll never be broke. As long as people owe you, you'll never be broke. You don't know what God is doing or why God is holding some things up. But as long as people owe you, you will never be broke. So let me tell y'all this. I need y'all to hear me. Stop playing small. Listen, Sarita and I were on billboards in Atlanta. On billboards. We were on billboards in Atlanta. We were on billboards in Atlanta. I made $30,000 during the pandemic. I lost about 30 pounds. Listen to me. I'm not a stranger to these things. These things are not foreign to me. I've done them before and I'll do them again. I need you to stop limiting yourself. I need you to stop forgetting the great exploits you've already done, and I need you to prepare for greater exploits. Greater. I don't want to say I made $30,000 in the pandemic. I want to say I've made $30,000 a month. Oh, yeah, I've made $30,000 a month. I want to be able to say that. Not just for the sake of saying it, but for the freedom that it gives me. The ability to do kingdom work, the ability to do what we desire to do. Like, I need that in my life. I need you to get your mind shifted and go to the place where God is sending you. Trust the journey and the process. And listen, bless those that receive you. And those that don't receive you, shake the freaking dust off your feet and keep on moving. Shake the dust. Leave them to their own devices. But those who care for you, you leave a blessing in those places. I was able to leave blessings. My presence brought a blessing to those places. So when God sends you somewhere, know that he may just be trying to get a blessing to the house. I hear you, God. He may be trying to get a blessing to the house. Know your place. Examine the places where you are and see if it's where you're supposed to be right now. Trust God for your greater. Make the shift. Stretch. Don't be afraid based on what you've done in the past and what you've had on the past and how much it costs and that costs too much. And listen, atmosphere is everything. If it costs more for the atmosphere, pay the more. You got to shift your you cannot, listen to me, you cannot get to millionaire and billionaire status hanging around hundredaires. You cannot get to millionaire and billionaire status hanging around hundredaires or thousandaires. You can't get there. You can't. Why? Your mind isn't forced to stretch enough. You can't see the possibilities. You can't see it. You've got to allow your mind to see it, to feel it, to experience it in order for it to be like, woo. And then you begin to draw it to you. Listen. I made $30,000 during the pandemic. Had multiple 5-figure months. I lived in a $600,000 townhome. I've lived in a 6-bedroom house. These are things I've done. They're not things that I just want to do. They're things I've done. Now, if I can do that, me, by myself, what happens when it's two of us? Well, God has to do some stuff. He's got to get us on the same wavelength. We have to be firing on all cylinders. We got to be moving in the right direction. And we got to go with force. One thing about me, I'm in a season where it's all gas, no brakes. All gas, no brakes. Let's go. We won't have time for it. Won't have time for it. Can't do it. Can't be stuck. Can't whine. Can't complain. No, let's go. We got to go. We got to go. We got things to do. We got lives to impact. people to help change their health and their wealth. Like, we got work to do. Y'all get out of your feelings. Listen to me. Get out of your feelings. Get out of your, oh, woe is me, and get to work, because you have stuff to do. And the fact of the matter is, your job is not going to allow you to do it. So if you don't have something else, you need to get something else that's going to stretch you, that's going to require you to develop in ways that you need to develop. Listen, people say what they want to about network marketing, but for me, I have seen consistently that network marketing is self-development with a compensation plan. You make more money the more you grow. The more your mindset grows, the more your consistency grows, the more your faithfulness grows, the more your dedication grows, the more your drive grows. You make more money. You want to make more money, work on you, because you're the reason you don't have it. When we don't have money, it's because of us. It's not life circumstances. It's us. It's us. You're the key to your money. Shift your mind. Shift your attitude, your perspective, your desires, and align them with what God has for you. And watch your money change. But if you're doing the same old stuff, you're going to get the same old ish. Period. If you're hanging with the same old people, you're going to get the same old stuff. I'm telling y'all. Everybody is not going to go. Everybody's not going to go. People gonna say you changed. Yep, sure did. I did. I changed. I became a better version of me. And if my better version of me irritates the old version of you, we got to disconnect. Like, if you're not coming up, I'm not coming down. Listen, in the video I was talking about when we had moved to Tampa, because we didn't move willingly to Tampa. That was a God move. God took us to Tampa, dropped us off, and said, no, you can't leave. What? What? No, you can't leave. So we were there, and we were homeless. We didn't have our own place. And during that season, I saw myself shrinking. You know, because I wanted people who were content with regular to like me. Now, you content where you're content. You know, I don't have no judgments on that. But what I did was I shrunk and tried to become regular so that the regular people would like me. And it still didn't work. They still didn't like me. They talked about me. They lied on me. I was like, what? I ain't even did nothing. What are y'all doing? What? Yeah. So I did all that shrinking, started losing me, my value, my worth, who I am, the star that I am, trying to mutate into regular. It didn't work. But it did work. It didn't work because I couldn't become that. But it did work for the enemy's plan, which was to make me lose sight of me. It worked for him, but it didn't work for me. I had to get back to me. I had to get back to me. I had to get out of the dark. I had to come out of the dark, the depressed, the lack of light. That's why I have lights on. Might as well be mad at me. I'd rather pay a higher light bill and have lights on than to be in the dark. Like, light does something. Light causes darkness to dissipate. I need light. Let me light it up. Let me open up the blinds. I need light. Let me open up the curtains. I need light. I want to see. I want to see everything. I even want to see when grown folks stuff going on. I want to see. Let me see. I want to see what's happening. Right? This is a defining moment in your life. And I'm telling y'all, because this is what I hear God saying, it's a defining moment. And you're going to decide whether you're going or whether you ain't. You're going to decide whether you're going or whether you ain't. But whatever you decide, he's going to honor it. He ain't going to beg you. He ain't going to drag you. He ain't going to pull you. He ain't going to make you. He ain't going to force you. You want to stay where you at, you're going to stay where you at. You don't want to move forward, then maybe stay right where you at, stuck where you at, in what you in, like doing what you doing. That's what you want. You're going to be able to do it. But I'm going to tell you something. As for me and my house, we're going forward. There's no backwards. That's right, Summerlin. Summerlin said, I ain't going backwards. I'm moving forward to the upward call of my life, no matter what. And that is where you have to be. No matter what it looks like, no matter what it feels like, no matter how much it hurts, no matter what you got to go through. Like, you got to get to the point where you're going no matter what. You're going. You're going. Look, you can allow things to stop you. Stuff is always going to happen. Life is always going to happen. You get to decide what you do with that. You can let it stop you or you can let it fuel you. I choose to let it fuel me. I'm going to say this. Hopefully my husband won't get mad at me. I'm going to say this. It seemed like every time we're at a place of breaking through a barrier, every time we're at a place of breaking through a barrier, our phones get turned off. What? Listen, and it'll be over foolishness, crazy stuff, where these people want us to pay extraordinary amounts of money, right? And you're like, how? This don't even make no sense. What y'all are saying don't make no sense. It don't make no sense. Twice has happened where we could not get to the bank to put money in to pay the, like, I'm like, oh my God, are you kidding me? So yesterday, the phone got turned off. I'm like, what in the world? And listen, this when they did it. It was after 5. The bank was closed. Couldn't get to the bank. One bank doesn't have where you can put the money in the ATM. You can't deposit in the ATM. The other bank was closed. We couldn't call so he could reset his PIN because he doesn't really use his card like that. So we couldn't put it in the bank. I'm like, are you freaking kidding me? And we had a Zoom scheduled. And guess what? I had to make a decision. Do I allow this to distract me? Because the phone is off. Or do I go ahead and I do this Zoom? What did I do? Y'all tell me what I did. Hey, Charla. Hey, G. Listen, Kareem, we need something. We need something, honey, because listen. Come on, Summerlin. The Zoom. I did the Zoom. I did the Zoom. I sat right up there, did the Zoom, did the presentation. Hey, Michelle. I did that Zoom. Why? Sitting around whining, complaining, and moaning wasn't going to change the situation. It wasn't going to change nothing. And then we can do to the next day. This is the next day. My husband will go take care of it. All will be well. Phone will be back on. Couldn't get caught up in, well, what if somebody called and they hear that the phone is not off? The phone ain't on. F it. Listen, what? Come on, y'all. This is why we get stuck in places, because we get so concerned about people and what people are going to think. And we start, no, I'm not, let me tell y'all something about me. Let me tell y'all something about me. I'm never going to feel bad when life happens, because life happens. It's a part of it, right? I'm not going to feel bad when my kids do something. They grown. If they do something, they do something, right? I'm not going to feel bad if the phone got cut off and we couldn't get, I ain't got time for it. We just going to fix it. We're going to fix it and we're going to move forward. And our goal is for us to limit its ability to happen ever again. But you know what? It happens and it might happen again. Who knows? But look, what will not happen is our ability to move forward won't be limited. It won't be stopped. It ain't going to be stopped. Stop for what? Because life happened? No, never. I'm never stopping moving forward because life happened. And I'm going to tell y'all something, and some of y'all are going to be offended, get offended. I'm going to tell y'all, let me just tell y'all now, some of y'all are going to be offended. So I'm going to tell y'all now up front. So those of you who get offended, be offended. I don't care if you're offended. I'm getting ready to tell you a very harsh truth. And the harsh truth is this. If you keep doing the same thing and you never do anything different, you're going to keep getting the same thing. And if you're good with the same thing, if you're good with what you're getting, if you're good right there, great. If you're not and you want more, you're going to have to do more, and you're going to have to make some sacrifices, and you're going to have to get uncomfortable, and something ain't going to get paid for you to be able to take a chance and to bet on you. Some going to have to not get paid so that you can, because guess what's going to keep coming? Those bills. And if all you do is pay the bills, you never position yourself to have anything more or to do anything else. You're going to have to take some chances. You're going to have to realign some stuff. Yes, Donnell, life is going to keep happening. Keep going. Life is going to happen. Keep going. Listen, I'm going to tell y'all something. And I want y'all to hear me very clearly. I want you to see us now. See where we at right 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 now. I want y'all to pay very close attention. Pay very close attention, because this time next year, we will not be here. We will not be in this house. And I don't know where we're going to be, but we're going to be in a different house. It won't be this house. I'm thankful for this house. This house has been a blessing. I'm thankful for it, but this is not my house. This ain't my house. This ain't my house. I want my house. My house. I want my house. This is not my house. Listen, there's a house with our names on it waiting for us. And I promise you this house is going to be over $1 million house. Listen, I'm not going backwards. I'm not going back. I'm going forward. It's going to have the pool. It's going to have the 6 bedrooms. It's going to have all the things that we desire. So it's definitely not going to be under $1 million. It's probably going to be a few mil, and it's all right. That's all right with me. I'm not mad about it. I don't care what nobody think. I don't care how nobody feel. It's going to be a multi-million-dollar home. We're going to be living in it. It's going to have the home theater. It's going to have the entertainment room where the pool table is, because Scooter finna get beat. I'm finna beat Scooter, okay? He's finna get beat. I got to sharpen my game. Listen, there's going to be enough room for the kids to bring their families. Listen. Yeah, that's going to be the first house. But we're going to have others. I'm going to tell y'all, stop. Stop limiting yourself. Stop limiting yourself. Stop limiting yourself to a place where you cannot flourish. Stop limiting yourself to a place where you're simply tolerated. Stop. Stop it. One of the things that I've learned, yes, Darnell, stop playing small. Yes, Evelyn, you have to speak it into existence. Everything that you want is only as far away as your words, your belief. You got to believe like never before. You got to see it. You got to speak it. You got to feel it. You got to smell the smell of the new leather. You got to smell the smell of the wood and the marble. You gotta smell it. You gotta imagine it. You gotta feel it. You gotta put yourself in that place. Michelle said, "This is my time. Changes to come now. I have limited myself for too long." Yes, Michelle. You gotta believe. I believe. I don't just believe the children are our future. I believe that my time is now. I believe my time is now. And even in the confines of a marriage, like, you are only responsible for you. The only one I can change in this marriage is me. The only one that I can be responsible for is me. Doesn't mean that I don't believe that it's my husband's time, so it's our time. It's that he got to believe that for him. He got to believe that. I can believe it for him. That doesn't produce change. God wants to see what we're going to do. God wants to see what we're going to do. What are you going to do? Where's your faith? Is your faith in you? Is your faith in God? Because if your faith is in God, he'll give you what to do to get there. Charlotte said, I believe that my time is now. My new mantra, speaking it all into existence. Absolutely. Absolutely. Someone said, absolutely, yes. So you got to know your place. And when the time has come, it's time up in a place. Don't stay any longer. If you stay any longer, it's going to go real bad. When your time is up, your time is up. Let it be up. And make the moves that you need to make. Anything other than that is going to keep you stuck in a place you don't want to be. Mm-mm. Mm. Mm-mm. Mm. God is calling you higher. The affirmation for today is, I will only stay where I am welcomed, celebrated, and listened to. Leaving is a necessary part of my journey. I will only stay where I am welcomed, celebrated, and listened to. Leaving is a necessary part of my journey. Is it time for you to leave some places, some situations? If so, my prayer is that you'll get the courage to do what's necessary. The only thing stopping you is you. And when people say, well, I don't have the money, well, guess what? God will give you strategies on how to get the money. Listen, we were trying, me and April were trying to figure something out yesterday. I promise you, baby, I figured that thing out. I said, okay, we can do. She's like, but, she's, oh yeah, I didn't think of that. That's what I do. I'm a strategist. That's what I do. Some of you are in need of strategy. And what you need to do is schedule a prophetic strategy session. That's what you need to do. Schedule you a prophetic strategy session. They are $125 for an hour. They are $75 for 30 minutes. Schedule you a prophetic strategy session and see what God is saying and get a strategy for it. I'm trying to tell y'all, it don't take me long, okay? It don't take me long. $75 for half an hour. It is $125 for 50 minutes. It's not even a whole hour, it's 50 minutes. 55 minutes. But I promise you, you're going to get strategy. You're going to walk away with actionable things that if you do them now, you will see funds show up. I'm going to tell you how to get to the money. Okay? Charlotte said, yes, I'm out. Charlotte said, I didn't have the money. He made a way, a miracle for me. That's what he specializes in. But y'all know what? He ain't finna make no miracle when you don't leave no space for the miracle. If you don't leave space for the miracle, he can't do a miracle. He wants to do a miracle, but you in the way of the miracle, trying to do it your way. One day, you'll learn. One day. Hopefully, prayerfully. So you guys schedule you a prophetic strategy session. Schedule. If y'all missed the class where I included an hour prophetic strategy in the 111 VIP of the vision setting class, you missed it. Now, in order to get 50 minutes, you're going to have to pay $125. And I'm not backing up. I'm not backing down. But Afterpay is available. I can invoice you and you can use Afterpay. Just like that. Matter of fact, I need to go on and create a checkout link for those. And then that way people can just do it. But God is trying to get you to a place where you go. It's the $1 million question. Look, y'all, I pray this word blessed y'all today. I pray you heard something that encouraged you, something that strengthened you for your journey, because it's a journey. Faint on the journey. Take it. Okay? Listen, I love you guys to life, and life more abundant. Have an amazing, incredible, and epic day. Be absolutely blessed. Mwah!